You have done it. You have mentally decided to buy a home. Congratulations. But what is next? If you start asking around, you are bound to hear the words "get pre-approved," but you don't know what it means, what it entails, or do you really need it? Hi, I'm Robert Webb, team leader of the Destination NJ Home Selling Team. I'm here to help you navigate all things real estate, specifically focused on helping our clients with buying, selling, and living here in the heart of NJ, North and Central New Jersey. If you enjoy this type of content, please make sure to give this video a like. It helps get it to more people that can use this information. And today, I want to go over what it means to get pre-approved and why it is truly your next best step that you could take for you and your family so that you can have full clarity on your purchasing power and get into your new home. A pre-approval comes as a result from you talking with the lender about your financial situation. And it means that a lender has pre-approved you for a certain budget. They feel that once you fully apply, you are highly likely to be approved for that loan. Now, you might be thinking, you just thought about buying a home. Why should you be talking with a mortgage loan officer at this stage? You haven't even found a home yet, and that's a valid question. And for that, there are two main reasons. First, you might have an idea of your budget. You know what you pay in rent and what you feel comfortable paying for a house. But you don't actually know how a lender is going to intake that information and what decision they would issue. Assuming that you are getting one of the most common loan types, which offer the lowest interest rates and the lowest down payment options, then the lenders are going to have to operate within a very specific set of criteria, which I like to call the box. And how they work within that box and calculate things may be very different than how you do. For example, as someone with rental income myself from a rental property, the way I calculate my rental income is very different from how a bank does. They actually show a loss on that property that I am actively making money on. And if you don't understand that and you think that the lender is going to think the way you do, well, there's going to be a massive discrepancy in your income and thus your purchasing power based on what a bank will qualify you for. Secondly, pretty much any realtor worth their weight is going to require you to be pre-approved before actively working together. For all they know, you could be all talk. I once met a buyer who had their car repossessed the week before I met them. And while that happens and there was no judgment, the reality was that they were not going to be able to qualify and get credit for some time. And since we realtors only get paid once a transaction closes, making sure that we are working with qualified, approved buyers is critical to allowing us to allocate our time properly. So amazing, you agree. It is time to get pre-approved. So you are going to call your lender and get the process started. If you are looking for a lender and you don't have one in your back pocket, I'm going to leave a link down below to our preferred mortgage broker here at the DNJ Home Selling Team. They are a brokerage that shops rate on your behalf and helps you find the right product at the best rate that fits your needs. So if you don't have someone and you want to learn more, check them out down below. All right, now, once you have that call with your lender, they are either going to fill out an application with you over the phone, or they are going to send you a link to an application to fill out on your own online. Since, let's be honest, it's going to be quicker for you to do it yourself than constantly misspelling things over the phone. We've all been there. This application is going to go over your basic personal information, and then it's going to start by going over a ballpark of what you are looking for. Since they are going to be verifying this information, just giving them a starting point is perfectly fine. So if you think you could afford $400,000, go ahead and put that in, and then they're going to take it from there. They are then going to ask you about your current income and what that looks like. How did you get it, and whether you get paid bi-weekly, weekly, work on commission, have one job plus a side hustle, or even own your own business. How your money comes in is critical to how income gets calculated and goes back to what I was saying before with working within that box. Then they will ask you questions about your liabilities or any money that goes out on a monthly basis. This is essentially your major monthly bills, student loans, car payments, rent, credit card debt, etc. Anything that you have to pay every single month is going to be a factor here. On the flip side, they're gonna ask you about your assets, your car value if you own it, your 401k, any retirement accounts, any insurance policies, any property that you may already own, and so on. And finally, they are going to confirm with you that they are going to run your credit report, which is a critical part of getting pre-approved. A lot of people are worried about their credit being run and how that will impact their credit score, but it is a small hit and your score recovers rather quickly. And it doesn't really matter unless you're gonna go and apply for credit somewhere else, which they're gonna have to pull your credit report anyway. It is something that you are just going to have to do, and I promise you're going to be happy with the result in the long run. From there, a good lender is going to ask you to send in some documentation. While the information on the application is amazing and truthful, the lender is required to verify this information, and that is where documentation comes in. Most commonly, a lender is going to want to see pay stubs, tax returns, and bank statements, although your individual package is going to vary. They do this because you may very well make $100,000 a year and you put that in your application, but the reality is you make $50,000 in salary, $30,000 in commissions, and $20,000 in overtime. And like I said before, the way that you and I calculate that income isn't always the same the way the lender is required to do so. And if you want an accurate pre-approval and you want an easier process down the road, then we need to work with the most accurate information. The good news is that we are almost done. I know it was a bit of a slog to get through that first phone call and that application and finally getting that documentation over, but the fact is that your loan officer now has the best information to work with, and they can issue you that shiny pre-approval that you can now bring to your realtor, and voila, you now have a budget set in stone that you can work with. You don't have to worry about finding a house that you love only to find out later that you can't actually afford it. Or inversely, you don't have to go and see homes that you simply aren't crazy about only to find out later that you could have afforded way more than you originally thought. Your agent is going to now be able to use this pre-approval when you submit offers on property to be able to convey to the seller side that you are a qualified buyer in this market. And a true rock star of a loan officer is going to keep in touch with you and then actually call on your behalf to that listing agent proactively to help you win the house that you love. Well, that's all I got for you. I hope this shed some light on the process and took some of the fear out of it. Make sure that you check out the lender down below that I was talking about. And if you like this video, make sure you subscribe. If you want to get started working with me, my team, and my network here in the heart of NJ, buying or selling a house, I want to invite you to click the very first link down below in the description. We would love to have a chat with you about your needs, what you're looking for, and how we can help.